How are Australians not responsible if they devote themselves to the same tokens, flag, anthem, title, and day? Australians routinely declare that they bear no responsibility for historical or ongoing wrongs inflicted on Aboriginal people, insisting that such acts were committed by the British before most of them were born, or that it was not their personal doing. Yet the same people fiercely defend and celebrate the very symbols and institutions that embody that British colonial enterprise, refusing any meaningful break from the past. This contradiction reveals a stubborn national posture that appears calculated to taunt and dismiss Aboriginal perspectives on invasion, dispossession, and cultural erasure. The insistence on retaining the Union Jack in the corner of the national flag, the constitutional monarchy, the Commonwealth of Nations, the title of Australia itself, the date of Australia Day, and the national anthem exposes a refusal to confront the foundations of the nation-state. Polls confirm this entrenched position, with a November 2024 Roy Morgan survey showing 61% of Australians want to keep the current flag that prominently features the Union Jack, despite decades of calls to remove it as a relic of empire. Similarly, recent 2024 and 2025 polls, including YouGov and Roy Morgan, consistently show between 43 and 57% opposing a transition to a republic, with support for retaining the monarchy hovering around 43 to 57%, depending on the survey, with many respondents citing tradition or national identity as reasons to stay tied to the British crown and its symbols.
It is this fate, let it be stayed, and I Australia.
If the wrongs were truly not theirs, and solely the fault of long-dead British officials, why then do Australians continue to swear allegiance to the same monarch, wave the same flag that flew over the First Fleet, and maintain membership in the Commonwealth that binds them to that imperial history? Australia Day, on January 26th, provides the clearest example of this double standard. Recent Roy Morgan polling from January 2026 found that 72% of Australians insist the date should be known as Australia Day, rather than Invasion Day, with 60.5% demanding the celebration remain fixed on January 26th, regardless of its meaning to Aboriginal communities, as the arrival of the First Fleet and the beginning of systematic dispossession. Some Australians go further, openly stating that the land was not colonized peacefully, but conquered by force, and that Australia Day should be celebrated precisely as a commemoration of that military victory and takeover. This framing directly contradicts the common disclaimer of personal non-responsibility, because celebrating conquest acknowledges the violent seizure of land and the subsequent policies of assimilation and control that continued well after Federation in 1901, under Australian rather than purely British authority. The hypocrisy deepens when considering that Aboriginal people comprise only a small percentage of the population, yet face vastly disproportionate outcomes. The stubborn refusal to evolve these national symbols is not mere inertia or innocent pride in heritage. It functions as a deliberate assertion of dominance that dismisses Aboriginal calls for recognition and change as irrelevant or overly sensitive. By keeping every emblem of the original invasion and conquest intact, while simultaneously washing their hands of accountability, Australians send a clear message that the past belongs only to the victors, and that any demand for reconciliation through symbolic decolonization will be met with resistance. This posture perpetuates division and ensures that the foundational contradictions remain unresolved, allowing the nation to project an image of unity and fairness that the retention of these relics directly undermines. Then, Australians state things like this:
I gave this country everything. 50 years of service, a lifetime of paying taxes, never asked for a handout. But today, the 18 largest companies in mining get billions back in diesel tax handouts, while I can't even get the basic care I need to walk properly. We need to get our priorities right.
The priorities were right before white people invaded. Aboriginal people gave tens of thousands of years of service to this land and kept it pristine. Now Australians are complaining about the system they created, yet they would rather defend, suffer, and die for that system simply to spite Aboriginal people. All this demonstrates that Australian stubbornness is not accidental, but a conscious choice. By celebrating the very conquest they sometimes admit to, while denying any ongoing responsibility for its consequences.